Hi everyone, this is Cooking with Kurt. Today my husband Donald and I are going to show you how to make a Filipino-style crispy fried chicken with homemade gravy.
Now everyone has their own method of frying chicken, and this is the one that we arrived at for deliciously moist chicken on the inside while getting the skin and breading nice and crispy. To start, take a large non-reactive bowl like glass or stainless steel, add in 3 cups of buttermilk, 1/4 cup of kosher salt, 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper, half a teaspoon of cayenne, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and 1 head of garlic that's been peeled and smashed. Stir these ingredients very well to combine, making sure that the sugar and salt dissolve into the buttermilk. Then add in 3.5 to 4 pounds of chicken pieces. We prefer chicken thighs or legs, but you can use whatever part you like. Make sure all the pieces are well mixed into the buttermilk soak. Finally, cover with plastic wrap. We're going to let the chicken pieces brine in the fridge for 3 to 4 hours. This will tenderize the meat as well as let the chicken pieces absorb all that flavor. Set a metal wrap on a baking sheet. When the chicken has brined, remove the chicken from the buttermilk soak and place them on the metal rack and let it rest for about 30 minutes, letting the excess buttermilk drip off onto the baking sheet and the chicken come to room temperature.
And this step is necessary, otherwise the chicken pieces will end up too salty. In the meantime, we're going to prepare the flour dredge. Take 2 large Ziploc bags and put one inside the other. We like to double bag just in case because we're going to be shaking the chicken pieces in the flour dredge pretty vigorously.
And in our experience, flour can get everywhere otherwise.
Add in 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, half a cup of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Seal both bags, then shake to combine. Then 1 piece of chicken at a time, place the chicken onto the double bag of flour dredge. Seal both bags, and vigorously shake so that all the sides of chicken are coated with a flour dredge mixture. Shake off the excess flour and transfer the flour-coated chicken onto another clean metal rack on a baking sheet. Repeat this with all the pieces of chicken and let the flour-coated chicken rest on the rack at room temperature for another 1 hour. Resting the pieces at room temperature after coating them with flour will help the flour dredge stick to the pieces, creating crunchier skin. Now, including the 30 minutes when we let the excess buttermilk drip off, we'll be resting the chicken pieces at room temperature for a total of 1.5 hours before frying.
This way the inside won't be cold, which will let the innermost parts of the chicken cook all the way through. This is especially important with thick pieces like chicken thighs.
At this point, save 2 tablespoons of the remaining flour dredge and set it aside to be used for gravy later on. When the coated chicken pieces have rested and are at room temperature, we're ready to fry up the chicken. Take a deep stainless steel pot. We're using a 5-quart pot that's 6 inches high. And we're adding enough peanut oil so the oil goes up about 2 inches high. We're using 48 ounces, which is 3 pints, or 1,420 ml of peanut oil for frying. The amount of oil you use will depend on the size of your pot. Now, a lot of people like using Dutch ovens or cast iron pots for frying chicken because they retain heat well, but we actually find that they retain too much heat. We prefer using stainless steel pots for frying because they're better for heat distribution so that the chicken pieces don't burn if they touch the bottom surface of the pot. Clip a candy thermometer to the pot and turn on the heat to medium-high heat. Wait till the oil reaches 325 degrees Fahrenheit. We're frying the chicken at very high temperatures, so it's important to use a flavor-neutral oil with a high smoking point. We like to use peanut oil or corn oil. Otherwise, your chicken could take on a smoky and unpleasant taste.
It's also important to use a deep pot, at least 6 inches high, to prevent the hot oil from splattering everywhere. And for safety's sake, do not fill your pot more than a third of the way up with oil.
When waiting for the oil to get hot enough, prepare another metal rack over a baking sheet. When the oil reaches 325 degrees Fahrenheit, use tongs to add the chicken pieces skin side down first, in batches of 2 for large pieces like thighs, maybe 3 for smaller pieces like legs, depending on the size of your pot. The oil temperature will drop when the chicken is added, but try not to let the temperature drop below 300 degrees Fahrenheit. If the oil temperature drops below 300 degrees Fahrenheit, that means you've added too many pieces and the pot is probably overcrowded. The oil temperature is going to fluctuate throughout the frying process. Ideally, the temperature should be around 315 degrees Fahrenheit during the majority of the frying process. Adjust the flame higher or lower depending on the temperature of the oil so that it sits on or around 315 degrees Fahrenheit as much as possible. The oil needs to be at this very high temperature in order to cook the chicken and make it crispy without actually being absorbed into the chicken. If you fry chicken at lower temperatures, the chicken will absorb the oil and you'll end up with very soggy and overly greasy fried chicken. After about 5 to 6 minutes on one side, depending on the size of the pieces, flip the chicken pieces over and let it continue frying for another 5 to 6 minutes. Again, continue to monitor the oil temperature so that it's around 315 degrees Fahrenheit, adjusting the flame level accordingly. Remove the chicken pieces using metal tongs. Transfer the chicken to the prepared metal rack so that excess oil drips off. The chicken pieces are done when the thickest part reads a minimum of 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not rest the chicken on paper towels to absorb the excess oil, as that will make them soggy with condensation. Using metal racks is ideal to let the excess oil drip down. Let the oil come back to 325 degrees Fahrenheit and add the next batch of chicken. Repeat the same steps until all the chicken pieces are cooked. Frying the pieces for about 5 to 6 minutes each side, depending on the size of the pieces, keeping a constant eye on the thermometer and adjusting the heat so the temperature of the oil sits on or around 315 degrees Fahrenheit. Let the chicken pieces rest for a minimum of 5 minutes before eating.
While we're waiting for our chicken pieces to rest and cool down, we're going to make a brown gravy sauce. Take a small saucepan, add in 3 tablespoons of the leftover oil the chicken was fried in. Be careful as it is very hot. Add in 2 tablespoons of the leftover flour dredge we had saved earlier and mix it in, forming a roux. Heat this over medium heat until the roux browns and darkens. Then add in 1 cup of chicken stock and half a cup of whole milk. Whisk them together constantly to dissolve the roux and break up any lumps of flour as the liquid comes to a boil. When it starts to boil, whisk in 1 teaspoon of fresh thyme, half a teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice powder, and half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Continue whisking and cooking for another 10 minutes or until it reaches your desired consistency. And there it is, crispy fried chicken. Spoon this homemade gravy over the fried chicken and enjoy. Ang sarap!
Ang sarap!
Yum!
So good. That chicken is so crispy.
And so moist and juicy on the inside.
Thank you all for watching. Please let us know in the comment section below if you're planning to make this crispy fried chicken and gravy. Send us pictures of your dishes on Facebook and Instagram. The links are below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Cooking with Kurt.
And don't forget to click on the bell so you get notified when we post new cooking videos. Maraming salamat!